Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TRS Live with your hosts Brian Keller, Matt Schratz, and Zach Hoffman, presented by The Real Shot.
I'ma do this here forever. EQ. Forever.
Triune.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. I'ma do this here forever.
Let's go.
All you haters better get comfy. This the day you've been waiting on. Y'all road is finna get bumpy. This the track I'm making my statement on. I ain't going nowhere. This the place that I'm making home. I'll do this shit forever. Hit the gas and I'm taking off. Ow. I was born with passion. My job is never ending and my hustle's everlasting. No matter what, I'm gon' ball, even with my back to the wall. And the best part is that this is the beginning. I'ma do this here forever. Forever.
Boom.
I think you
You guys
played the
live?
video again. Oh, no, we are. See, I'm looking.
There, I
at
see
the
the output.
the output windows are all screwed up. I was heading on the top right.
Hey, happy Cyber Monday, everybody.
What's up?
I'm pretty much shopping like holidays so far. I'm done with it.
Really? You're done already?
Well, Molly's done.
I was going to say, I don't do any of it, so I'm done maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm
If my
just kind
wife's
of like
done, I'm
I'm
done.
just checked out. Like I love seeing some of the emails today. They're like, "Are you Black Friday'd out?" I'm like, "Yep."
I was shopping out before I started.
Right. Well, what's going on, everybody? Happy Cyber Monday. Hopefully you're hopping on the realshot.com and doing a little bit, taking advantage of some of the good deals we have on there. We do appreciate everybody that shopped with us over the weekend. It was a really good Black Friday weekend for us, and we do appreciate all that. We're welcoming back to the studio the man, Brian. Brian was in the woods, spent a little bit of time
I did.
behind
I
the
think
scope.
I was still recouping from head-to-head for a couple weeks.
Oh, boy.
Took
Well,
a
how'd it
little
go?
time. Good.
Good?
My son and my dad both shot nice ones. First buck my dad shot in like 10 years, so
Oh,
that was
that's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah, he was actually hunting with my youngest son, Nolan, so
Yep.
that was really cool.
Nolan hooked now?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm torn on
He's
if
fair
he's
weather?
really into it or not.
Right.
But they both had a good time. He has fun hanging out. Like, I think he likes the camp part of
Yes.
deer season more than maybe the hunting part of deer season. But he had a lot of fun. He loved it. And my oldest son, Jimmy, just is a freak. He loves sitting in the woods. He'll sit out there sun up to sundown every day if I'd let him. It's just what he loves to do.
He sat on his own this year?
He's sat on his own since he was 14.
Oh, man.
So as soon as he had the green light, he was gone.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like,
But he just loves it. It's,
Right.
You know, he was hunting with me from when he was 8, and he'd sit there all day and just stare out the window and wait, and his patience are off the charts. And doesn't hurt that he's a really good shot too. So he put a belly curled stock on a doe this year for 100 yards. He got within about 60 yards of it and let her have it as she was laying on the ground.
Could you imagine if that was all streamed live?
Right.
That would be so awesome to
Right.
watch.
So yeah, we got some stuff.
There's some stuff in the
We
mix.
got some stuff.
I mean, I was talking to Zach. You got a qualm face on your?
What is going on, dude? Oh, that's interesting.
Well, it's like
Anyway.
anyways. Well, we're like an official podcast right now.
Right.
No, it's just voices.
Well, luckily nobody can see your great hair that your wife wants to buzz off.
Yeah, I caught a lot of slack about the long hair over the weekend.
I didn't, when that first started, I didn't think that it was going to actually get there. I assumed it was not going to make it all the way to the end.
Well, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting closer every day. Yeah, so I don't know. She told me don't fall asleep. I'm getting one of those false threats, like she's gonna cut my hair. She said it doesn't look like. Zach, do you have to snap your fingers to see if it's working? Well, welcome to episode 1 of TRS Live. We're figuring all this out on the go. Well, big thing is we want to make sure to get to the Black Friday giveaways.
Jeez.
Well, I mean,
paying
since
for all that?
I can't see it, I can break it down. It's a lithium 40-volt 8-inch auger, a Markham M1, and then a full Surge or Surface Strike Master suit. So, and then there's also some miscellaneous lures and stuff. So, who paid for all that? I don't know, man. I don't know who paid for all that. But so we're doing that drawing, and then we have an awesome HHA package with a couple True Fire release, some arrows, some broadheads, and some Nocturnal Light and Nock. So that's all a good package. So we'll be doing that a little bit later on, probably closer to the 12:35, 12:40 time frame here.
Oh, okay.
So
You gonna hold me here that long?
I'm gonna hold everybody here that long. So
Holy
if you
cow.
want to find out,
I
you
thought I
better
had
stick.
stuff to do today.
What do you got to do?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Pay bills.
So I want to know what camp life is like for you guys. Like we kind of heard from Rick's, he goes up north. They kind of
Yep.
have big timber style hunting. What's it like where you hunt then?
Like the actual camp itself?
yeah, camp, and then what's your strategies for the 9-day? That's just
To be honest with you, for me, normally gun season is just surviving, hoping all my big deer don't get whacked or hit by a car or something
and that
crazy.
that totally was not the case this year.
Not this year, no. I just was so busy. I didn't get anything done at the land at all. So I was really disconnected from hunting as a whole.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I spend most of the gun season almost not even hunting. I was in the woods. I hunted every day.
Yep.
But just thinking about all this streaming stuff we're doing and platform shows and
2020 is
2020 stuff we got cooking. So that's really what I did out there. But typically it's really just my dad, myself, and my 2 sons, and we just kind of hang out and hunt.
Did the boys come up further
Yeah.
most of
Oh,
the
yeah.
season then?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Jimmy hunts every day, sun up to sundown, like I said. And Nolan likes to just hang out and sit with Grandpa, and they shoot the shit. And you know what I mean? That's
Literally
what they do.
shoot the shit.
Yeah, literally.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I saw that Megan posted a picture of your guys' freezer. It looks pretty stocked up and full, ready
yeah,
to go.
I do it all. I mean, I don't know. A couple years ago, about 3 years ago, I said enough of this taking it in thing. I'm going to learn how to process it start to finish. So,
Yep.
learn how to skin it, set up my deal, did that, quartered it, bring it home, turn it into a little family deal now. And
Yep.
I did the math yesterday. So if you figure like the grass-fed beef stuff's like $9 a pound or whatever, right? So
Yep.
I did it backwards. We processed about 88 pounds of venison, right? 3 deer.
Yep.
Went through that, and I figured I probably made about $60 an hour.
Isn't it crazy?
Man, that's real money, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it took me 14 hours, 15 hours to do 3 deer, start to finish, right?
Yep.
Skin it, quarter it, the whole spiel, grind it, all that stuff. But I don't know, for $60 an hour. I mean, if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, I'll give you $60 an hour to go do this job," you'd probably
for
do
sure
it.
you would. And the thing I like about doing it with the kids especially is it makes them realize after you shoot a deer,
Oh, there's a lot of work.
the work starts.
Oh, see, and it's funny because Jimmy's 16.
Yep.
He loves shooting them, right?
Yep.
Loves it because 16-year-old doesn't love shooting deer? Absolutely loves shooting deer. And then you could see him just like twitching yesterday when we were like on hour 6, and he's like, "Really, Dad?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're here until this is done."
That's it. Did you partake in the harvesting?
Which
Then-
I think is great.
Yep.
So and to be honest with you, I took my deer in for years. As soon as I started doing it myself, the quality, what you get back, 100% it's yours.
Yep.
It's not just, at least the hamburger, right? It's not the community stuff.
Correct.
They tell you get your own steaks back. Do you really? Who knows?
Yep.
Right? I mean, they probably are,
I agree.
right? They probably are. But the hamburger is a big deal. And then the quality and the flavor and stuff back is just not even close.
Well, you spend a little more time on it. You get a little more tallow out. Can they even hear us? I see it's frozen again.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay. So, yeah, depending on time availability, I have a really great butcher that I take my deer to, like
Okay.
when it's early season and I don't have proper storage and I can't
Right,
let 'em hang.
right.
But like you said, for the most part, I do my own.
Well, and see, and the nice thing is during gun season, it's dark at 4:40.
Yep.
So when you come back, you got 4 or 5 hours every night. You're just at camp. That's
Yep.
what we do now is we just let the deer hang, cut them up, all that kind of stuff. So,
Right. So,
but yeah,
it's sad to see it's over with. I mean, I sat Thursday morning for a couple hours, saw like 6 or 7 deer, and then I was hoping to get out over the weekend. I didn't do that. Well, over by me, like a lot of places, we got that pretty big front that pushed through.
okay, yep.
We got like 6
See,
to 8
and I
inches of snow.
I was hoping the deer were going to be all on their feet when that was going on, and by me, it didn't. They didn't do squat.
Was it windy though?
No,
Really?
it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was bad.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. They just never really seemed to get on their feet and go. I think part of it too is once the woods just, you know what I mean. Everybody's out there doing the last minute stuff. They're not listening to you on TRS Live about doing stand stuff in March.
Right.
They're all hanging deer stands and all that, seeing if corn's going to take root in their fields and all that kind of stuff.
I do think that's the best, though, whether they have been or they don't, when you see guys picking up, like, bags of corn for areas that you could bait in, like, the day of the season.
Whatever. Whatever.
You're virtually feeding squirrels at that point.
Maybe they were like me and they didn't have time this year to get out and do things the right way. But,
right.
I think that all that extra commotion in the woods, and then I think on top of that this year with the rut, or the season, not the rut, but the season being so late.
Yep.
I mean, as late as it could possibly be, was why a lot of deer were just exhausted. I mean, I saw a buck come through. It was a 3-year-old 10-pointer, and I had to scope on him for a while because I thought he was injured.
Oh.
He could hardly walk.
Yep.
And I was like, God, what? And after a while, he kind of loosened up. He must have been laying down and just stiff and exhausted because he could hardly move. He literally looked – I thought at first when he came out, I thought he was like a 7-8-year-old deer that was like near death, or he got shot in the leg, or he was kind of limping, he was hobbling. I was like, what is going on with that deer? That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
And then I saw him the day after, and he was fine.
Yep.
So he was probably just laying down, just a little stiff, and
you think
just been chasing for weeks on end, and he's just flat out exhausted.
As both of us as coaches, think about how you feel after a day of practice when you try to get up in the bed, from bed in the morning. You're like, oh my God,
I learned. See, this is your first year, right? Yeah. I've been doing this for a few years now. I don't partake in the actual practice anymore because that's how you get hurt.
I know. That just helps me justify eating a little bit more Thanksgiving is when I run around. Now now basketball chaos is starting.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I know, man.
We had Wisconsin sports had a good weekend for the most part.
Yeah.
Badgers won.
Yep.
They won the right to go get their butts handed to them by Ohio State.
That's going to happen.
So that's fun.
I hope not.
I mean, they played a great game against but let's just be realistic.
They started slow.
Well, right, but I mean, they're going to get their asses handed to them. I mean, you just watch Ohio State, and they just got more athletes. They're just better. There's more athletic than we are. I don't care how good of a game plan we have. It's just not going to happen.
What's the fun fact you said for today that you just found?
All 3 top Wisconsin athletes, Aaron Rodgers, Christian Yelich, and Giannis, all have a birthday this week.
That's pretty nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty crazy. I didn't watch the Packer game that much. Did you?
Yeah, when we were playing the 2, and I don't know. I'm not gonna get real jacked about it, right? We went out the one game we could have played and won and made a statement.
Yep.
We went out to Frisco, and got our butts handed to us on a silver platter. We beat the Giants. Yay, woohoo! Right. I mean, I think we're a good team, but I think realistic this year when it comes down to it, it's gonna be Baltimore. It's going to be San Francisco.
Well, that's what
New
they
England,
said.
But
Baltimore
New England
and Kansas City
was
like a preview of could be a Super Bowl
Oh, for
match.
sure. And then, Houston and beat the crap out of New England last night.
I was happy about that.
I mean, those guys got all over Brady, and they showed how much of a sitting duck he is if you can put pressure on him.
Well, he doesn't. They were talking about it in the game from the clips I saw. He's a pocket presence. That's where he likes to be. He'll move around the pocket, but he scrambled for his biggest scramble of the year is 13 yards.
He's teased Dan Marino all over. There are a couple of he was actually falling down, so he didn't take a hit.
Yeah,
he's 43 or 42. I don't blame him, man. I wouldn't want to have one of those guys hit me either. But
I was definitely rooting for him.
I think you're starting to see, especially in the NFL. You are starting to see the changing of the guard from the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers and some of these older guys. You're seeing the Deshaun Watsons and the Jacksons and these younger guys really grapple. You're starting to see them starting to take over now.
So there's a couple comments over there on YouTube. The greatest Wisco outdoorsman says, I got class at 12:40. Can we do it at 12:30? And then Tom says we're having connect issues, and he says maybe later. Yeah. So I'm guessing that. Thanks, Tom, for tuning in for a little bit. But, I agree. Everybody had big predictions, and the Packers started out so hot. But Morning Russell, they better figure it out here moving forward. But they are leading the division, though.
The Packers are a playoff team.
Yep.
Because our end of our schedule here is a joke. Right? We should win the next 4 games. I mean, we're gonna go in the playoffs with a decent record. But when you watch our defense, we don't have a Super Bowl caliber defense.
What do you think happened? They started this season so hot.
I don't know.
Everybody was saying, watch out, the Packers' defense is
and it looked great.
Right.
Preseason, beginning of the year, I was like, holy cow, look at these guys flying around the ball. I think we're getting less pressure on the quarterback. Now, who knows? Maybe they're dealing with some injuries.
Right.
And, the guy might be on the field, but he might not be 100%, right? I think people they don't understand that all the time. And as a coach, you've probably dealt with it.
Yep.
I mean, the kid's on the field, but he's not at 100%. He's at about 74. You know what I mean? And And you can tell the difference when they can't get to that crossing route, or they can't keep up with that tight end, or where you really notice that if a guy's got an ankle problem is on double moves, right? Yep. If a receiver puts a double move and he's just
toast,
held out to dry. So I think there might be some of that going on with the Packers, and they don't talk about it because they don't want the other teams to know who's dinged up if they don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the NFL's got some requirements around you have to talk about certain things, but Belichick's done it for years with Brady, and they definitely dance around that as much as they can.
I want to talk. Hey, I just want to say what's up to Kevin Price. He's tuning in here. Thanks for letting us know you're listening. Did you see that recent clip from last weekend where it was the Patriots versus the Cowboys, and they accused them for cheating, and they caught it right on TV?
No, I missed that.
So supposedly
who got accused for cheating?
Patriots? The Patriots again.
Well, that's what they do.
Well, so then I kind of read into it, and they said that it was a misplaced marker. But literally on the top of the screen, it was Dallas had the ball, and they're going, marching down the field. They're trying to, and it turned in. They had like 2nd and 10. And then you see the guy at the top of the screen grab the line marker and slide it back like 2 yards.
Really? Oh, I missed that.
If you look it up, you should see it. But then then all the verbiage said, well, it was just a misplacement by the ball. But you can see like they had the first down marker there, which is I know is not always the truth.
Right.
But then
you're talking about the yellow line.
The yellow line, the imaginary yellow line.
Right.
But then they, even the ref spotted the ball, and then the yard marker on the orange marker slides back, and then the next play, the yellow line had slid back.
So you didn't watch the Packer game?
Very little.
So if anybody, they actually were broadcasting the white lines on the field on Sunday because it was snowing.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't like it. I mean, I'm okay with
even the numbers too, and the hashes and all that.
I mean, I'm okay with the line of scrimmage. I'm okay with the first down marker. I think that's added a lot to the game, but if it's snowing and they're shoveling the field off, I just want to see snow in the field. That's football.
Right,
I don't care.
That's the way.
That's the way. So they were actually broadcasting the lines and the numbers on the field. Like you could see, it was really kind of weird.
See, I had thought in my own brain that they had like heated those areas specifically for these kind of situations. Where,
like heated the field?
Yeah, like heated the numbers or the
yeah.
lines, or because my brother-in-law actually he works for a company in Stevens Point, and that's what they do. They build a lot of football stadiums.
Okay.
Like I think he built the one at Oshkosh and all that kind of stuff. So. Are we
crazy?
People are still hearing us though, Zach?
Oh, yeah,
good to go?
All
right, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. So
it's got that great picture stuck there of
look
us
at how nice
geniuses.
my hair looks in that picture though.
It's flowing. You got the flow going on.
I got the flow. So but anyways, yeah, the 9-day season of Gun is over with. Hopefully people had a good and were safe over the weekend. I'm kind of curious to see where the rest of the numbers come in. The storm front definitely didn't help anything. It was already down 27% at one time. So.
Well, I think they're blaming that DNR is blaming it on the late season.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this. If they're worried about the late season, why don't they always make it why does it have to be around Thanksgiving? Is that just a traditional thing?
I think it's all tradition.
Why couldn't it always be the second Saturday in November or the third Saturday in November, no matter what?
I think that's the way other states do it.
Right.
So I had asked some questions at one point to the DNR, and my biggest question is why do our licenses go up, but the non-res license never really move? As far as I know, the non-res prices are still $160-something bucks, and they haven't changed. And ours.
What are they in other states? Non-res aren't they way higher than that?
Oh yeah, most of them are at least $200-300 bucks.
And aren't a lot of the gun hunters from out of state?
And they said yes, and the reason they won't ever raise the license to a price that high is because it's a tradition, and they realize that people move out of the state. So why do we? If it's a tradition, why do the residents get penalized for it?
Right, it's stupid.
So let's just tell you this: I'm planning on trying to go to Iowa in the next year or two. I'm already sunk into Iowa for almost $250, and I just have preferences.
Right. You're not even guaranteed a license yet.
Not even guaranteed a license. So when I go purchase that license, I will be at as much, just in tags, as some people pay to go to Colorado and hunt elk over the counter.
That's crazy.
I'll be at near $1,000.
Now, do you think some of that has to do with Iowa's reputation as far as big deer? Is that why you're willing to pay that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? See, and I've always thought that from a fishing standpoint, Wisconsin has always been managed more on the take than on the quality.
I agree.
I could be totally wrong, but if you look at the way Winnebago's managed, if you look at the way we manage our deer, it's more about putting food in the freezer in Wisconsin than it is about the trophy.
Okay, well, and we just had this conversation earlier. Like, a lot of the outdoor industry, I think, is getting pushed away from the trophy status again, and we're back.
I think people are kind of sick of it personally.
Well, yeah, it's unrealistic for most people.
Yep.
I mean, even where you sit, you have some pretty primo area, and you even kind of realize that waiting for that next 150 is not always an easy thing
Well, I
to do.
think, you've got like in my area, right? I got a monster shot to the east of me this year, 2 of them, a monster shot to the south of me. Those deer are in the neighborhood, but if you use a fishing analogy, they're all really good reefs. But my property, the way it's set up right now, is real open park because I got to do some work to it. Not to say that it's bad, but right now it's more of the community reef from a fishing standpoint. Shoot a lot of deer, see a lot of deer. Going hungry is not a problem.
Right.
But those big 150 pluses aren't going to spend a lot of time because they're not thick enough.
Yep.
Where, and fishing's kind of the same way, right? Like the easy reefs are the ones everyone goes and fishes all the time.
Correct.
But those big fish are kind of off.
They learn this. And you said you've witnessed that, and I've witnessed it before. Them bigger deer don't shy too far away from cover.
They won't move.
And
they
like
won't come off it.
Kevin says here, he says, good point. If you want to control the population of deer, have the opening the same every year. Same.
I
as
agree.
fishing.
Well, why not? I mean, if they wanted more deer shot, if you had it the second, I am not advocating for the second week in November because I'd rather be in the woods with my bow, right?
Yes.
But if they did, your deer numbers would go through the roof because everyone would be hunting a rut.
All right. So Kevin says, Brian, what's your thoughts on changing the limits of walleye in the Winnebago system?
My thing with Winnebago is I don't think it's a limits change. I think it's a got to protect them during the spawn change. Like if you go to a lot of places, we could easily put a slot on the Wolf River and save a lot of those big females that are getting just housed. I mean, right? Like bucketfuls and bucketfuls. I mean, because it's a condensed area, they're easy to get at, right? And that's where 80%, 90% of those Winnebago walleyes spawn is up on the Wolf River. I've always thought that if Winnebago wanted to be a truly monster system, it could be. Now, I've heard arguments that there's not enough forage in the system to have the big fish, whatever. I don't know enough of the facts to argue that. I know that if you let a walleye eat, they're going to eat anything, right? They're going to start eating the bass and the bluegills and the whatever. I think if you wanted the Winnebago system to be a truly trophy walleye fishery, I think you could do it. I could be totally off base on that, but I know numbers-wise there's more fish than anywhere, but I don't personally get my kicks off of catching 15 to 18-inch walleyes. Now, if I'm hungry and that's what I want to do, that's great. But for me personally, that's not my thing, right? I want to go catch big fish. I don't want to catch 15-inch fish.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the biggest things that's always brought up every single year in the Bago. I like your thoughts of just kind of shutting it down during the spawn.
Well, I think if
or not shutting it down,
if you've ever been on the Wolf
River
River in the springtime, you got giraffes, right? That's a traditional thing. Okay, that's great. But you got guys that will literally take those spawning marshes and they will form a line of fishing line. Guys fishing bumper to bow to stern across the mouths of these things. Well, those guys can't. I mean, those fish got nowhere to go. They're going in. They're going in and coming out. They're going in full. They're coming out hungry, right? That's what's going to happen.
They're going to eat as soon as
right. So if you protected those fish for the 2 weeks that they're spawning, you could keep the limits. You could. I don't think it's a size limit thing. I think that a lot of those big fish after they're done spawning, right? Who cares?
Right.
Just don't get them on the way in.
Yeah.
On the way out, 90% of it. Right. Getting them in is 90% of the battle.
Right.
If they're coming out, and then once those fish hit the lakes, they're just harder to come by anyways because it's just a lot more surface to cover. So I've always thought that would be a big deal on the Bago system, is kind of protecting that, but obviously I don't know anything. So
do you know the story like behind Petenwell? Because I think didn't Petenwell put some limits in underfish and everything?
I don't know.
You don't know that
portion
of it. I know, like
I know there's pros and cons of slots. You know what I mean? I know that there's definite pros and cons. I've heard a lot of them. I think that if you want to manage a fishery to be a trophy fishery, you got to do it a little different than if you want to just have everybody fill in their frying pan.
Well,
so
and
to speak.
you could say the same thing for like antler restrictions or something like that.
Absolutely. Yep. But this all went back to your licensed sales.
Yeah. Yep.
Wisconsin doesn't worry about that.
Nope.
They want numbers, and they don't want, you know what I mean? They're afraid of raising something and losing 10% of the hunters because hunter numbers are already going down.
Right.
And all that type of stuff. So I get it to a point, but, I don't know what's going on. Any progress, Zach? Oh, all right. Well, we're a podcast today. So.
We're a podcast. Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's why our Facebook viewers are up right now because
they don't have to look at you.
They don't have to look at us. I'm like, oh my God, that guy's an idiot.
So anyway, on the topic of hunting.
Yep.
Should I throw it out there a little bit?
I think you definitely should.
All right. I'm working, so this is dangerous, right? The guys around here know when I get some time to just sit and think, it's a scary thing because then the text messages start flying.
People get forewarned when Brian goes spend some time away.
So I'm working on an outdoor platform. So what's happening is we've got firearms here now, right? And you can't market guns anymore. Like you can't, YouTube won't let you do it.
They're handcuffing
Facebook won't let you do it because, guns are the problem, right?
Yep.
It's not people violence, it's gun violence, which is a joke, right? Somebody gets hit by a car, they don't call it car violence. It was a drunk driver.
Well, I love the ones on Facebook all the time now where there's been like how many millions of hunters in the woods and not a single person was.
My guns never jumped off the counter and shot anybody. It's just, right? Like,
Yep.
I think the people watching, listening to this, they're all on the same page,
Yeah, they
right?
get it.
So anyway, we're running out of ways to market to the outdoor industry, really. They're, blood and guts on YouTube's bad. People don't want guns on Facebook, all this kind of stuff. So I'm working on a outdoor platform along with head-to-head. I'm taking that to the hunting world. So we got some stuff we're working on the hunting side of things. We're looking at head-to-head bass, head-to-head walleye. This hunting concept that we're putting together, I think, could be pretty revolutionary, and I think it's gonna. I don't know. Well, maybe we're onto something. Maybe we're not, but we're gonna give her. We're
gonna try. Well, we're trying to come up with an answer for all the restrictions that you're getting on where all these pages are right now.
Well, and I'm trying to get out in front of it a little bit, to be honest with you, because
it's gonna happen.
I'm a business guy, and I like to make money, and I like to see the big picture and things, and. Where all the content, there's millions of guys like us.
Yep.
Millions and millions of us that want to watch stuff get shot. We want to learn about the outdoors. We want to learn about food plot maintenance. We want to learn about all this stuff.
Yep.
And they're just choking us out.
And
because why? Because there's a bunch of people in California that don't like it or don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's just that it just drives me crazy. If you want to get me on that topic, it drives me absolutely nuts. I'm offended and triggered.
Just turn the
You know what? I don't like what you choose to do with your time, but I don't watch it. So, because I don't spend, that's a weird thing to me, right? Like, if you don't like it, why do you spend any time worrying about it?
Right.
Like, if I don't
Just
like
move
your
on.
hair, I spend zero time. I'll show up to work and I'll pick on Matt's hair. Right? Not that I like it or don't like it, I just do it. But as soon as that 5-second conversation's over, I'm like on a pain pills or something. Like I'm not sitting here, oh my God, what is Matt doing to his hair? He's totally ruined his life.
We had this conversation over Thanksgiving and talking about vegans, how somebody that we know moved to San Diego, and she was saying that everything there is vegan.
Oh my God.
Vegan chorizo, vegan, all this kind of stuff. And for her, who's a meat eater, she said it's kind of hard to get used to.
Right, I bet.
Plus, things are more expensive and all this kind of stuff. But anyways, veggie burgers. So
speaking of veggie burgers, somebody just came out from it was a university guy came out and said the ingredients in veggie burgers is the exact same as in dog food.
Oh.
Minus a couple of the flavorings. Like they put some flavorings in that the veggie burgers so they don't taste like dog food. Basically, you're eating dog food.
Oh.
Dog food. You're eating dog food.
And so that's kind of, I just wanted to get there with this point is like, you don't see hunters, meat eaters go after vegans, do you? It's always the opposite way around. Like the vegans always come after us because we eat meat, but we're like you just said, who cares what you do?
Do your thing, man.
Who
you want to eat tofu? Go nuts, man. I don't care.
But you never, unless I'm wrong, you never see a meat eater go, oh my God, you shouldn't eat vegetables. I mean, seriously.
It's definitely, it's just a different, whatever. I'm trying to not get in a political deal, right?
Right.
But
we usually go there.
It's just weird.
Yep.
That I can't do what I want to do, and you're going to tell me what I can't do. But if I go against you, you have a holy shit fit about it.
And we're 100% wrong. Then at that point,
So,
if they're coming after us, you're in the wrong.
So long story short, we got a whole slew of these live shows because head to head was such a crazy deal.
Yep.
And we're gonna look at head to head bass, head to head walleye. We got all sorts of live stuff happening.
So can we safely say that we're doing a walleye head-to-head this year?
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Are we safely
Yeah,
saying
we're
that
gonna
now?
do it.
Okay.
We're going to do 18 head-to-head events next year.
18.
18.
2020, 18. So, we occasionally we're getting comments, questions on head-to-head. It's not.
We're still working on. I mean, it's a lot to put all this on.
So I'm doing the scheduling on this thing, and there's a freaking bass tournament every day, every weekend in the summer.
I got a plan for that too.
Well, and that,
you know the plan. I'm not gonna say it yet, but you know the plan.
So, the thing that I'm coming down with is I'm realizing is
bass flu.
Well, yeah, you're gonna head-to-head is gonna have to surplus all these other ones as much as we absolutely can because there's not enough weekends in the summer.
Well, I agree.
To do a fishing tournament and dance around somebody else's fishing tournament.
So should I say it? So,
well, we're gonna dance around one fishing tournament in particular.
We're not even doing that anymore. We're just doing them all at the same time.
Oh, you want to talk about this too now?
I don't know, why not?
Hey, man, it's your rodeo.
So we're gonna do 9 bass head-to-head events. So it's gonna be 8+1.
So you telling me the schedule I put together for the bass, kind of the potential is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't even look at your sheet yet, to be honest.
I know you didn't.
So we're gonna do eight events. The winners of each one of those is gonna go into the 9th championship event. We're gonna do 8 walleye, and the winner's gonna go in the 9th championship event. And some of those events might all happen at the same time.
True.
And you might be able to watch them
all at the same time. Yep. So Robert wants his comment here. He says, if you want to control the deer population and quality of said population, here's a thought. Hunters, because the DNR says you can shoot 4 deer per hunter per gun's deer season, doesn't mean you have to.
I got 12 tags this year for does.
And I'll be honest, is when we sell tags down front, most of the guys are like, I will never shoot that.
Well, what are you going to do with 12 deer?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Unless you're going to go donate them, but most of those places
don't
want to donate them.
Then you get threatened in July and August saying, well, if you don't, we're going to propose doe-only seasons.
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, I agree. That's a good comment. So, head-to-head, I know we're bouncing all around on here.
No, that's all good.
But, yeah, I don't know. We got muzzleloader season coming up. We got all this ice fishing seasons coming up. And I
liked your idea with the sturgeon spearing. We should do that this year.
Can you imagine how legit that would be?
You think people would watch that, though?
Oh, my God.
Would you watch, if we had live sturgeon spearing, would you watch it?
Brian, you just answered your own damn question. Why do these people go sit over a hole anyways?
Well, I know, but when I watch you sit over a hole.
Most people have buddies with them.
It's true.
Friends with them.
I bet you people would totally watch it.
Oh, they would watch it.
So
now, here's the only thing about it, though, is for a sturgeon spearing live streamed event, I don't know if you want to put a big camera in there.
No, well, you would have to. What else are you going to do?
What, couldn't you hang the...
Oh, I like where you're going with that. That's a good idea.
From the ceiling.
You could do that. It's a little more work, though, but yeah, you could do it.
Well, like the GoPro mounts.
The fixed cams. I know. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Your camera stuff won't be as in depth as it is for head-to-head or something like that, but I don't know, man. If I'm renting camera equipment and I'm dropping her in a 8-foot hole or a 4-foot hole, I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Because, I mean, I've seen the videos and head-to-head flathead. Here, I want to ask a question while people are chiming in here really quick. So for this walleye one,
yep,
we're coming up with rules for walleye.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I would love people to comment
it's
on
be solo.
head-to-head rules for walleye.
It's going to be solos, no teams, mano-y-mano.
Okay, so we are. Okay, so I thought we were going to go teams at one point.
No, I changed my mind.
Because
mano-y-mano.
So here's the things that we want to know. Okay, teams, no teams.
Yep,
Mono,
no teams.
one-on-one. Trolling.
Yep.
We get a lot of people say pushback on they don't want to see trolling.
Okay.
But how can you walleye fish without trolling?
Well, you can. There's obviously lots of ways to do it. I think the trolling aspect of walleye fishing is a big part of it, right? I mean, just based on our sales, yep. I think trolling is a big part of walleye fishing. So I don't want to eliminate trolling. What I'm working on is some things around fish landing, fish violations. You want to keep it what head-to-head started and is. It's got to have some of that.
Well, and it's okay. So let's recap. So head-to-head is 2 pound minimum on bass.
Yep.
Would you do 2 pound walleyes?
It's going to be the same.
So, okay. So, and then we said no nets for head-to-head.
Yep. I think for walleye, what I'm leaning towards for the walleye is allowing them to use a net with a penalty.
Oh.
So, like, maybe there's a 2-minute fish violation for throwing the fish back over the gunnel.
Yep.
But see, walleye boats aren't built the same as a bass boat. It's not as easy to get down there. And if we're on certain lakes and you're fishing in 4-footers, That's just a hazard.
No, I know it.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
further away from the water.
I've been leaning around. You could both flip a 2-pounder, which is no different than the bass.
Yep.
Right? You could do that. If you get a 7-8 pound walleye on and you want to take a minute penalty, net it.
True.
Something I don't know. But then I got issues with the rods in the water. If a guy's trolling 2 rods, and does he got to take the other one out before he serves the penalty? Can he serve the penalty with it in the water?
Yeah. So
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
That's the one that we're having some struggles.
Yep. I'm working on it. But
Would
we're
you
gonna try
say
it.
that majority of the time walleye lures have more than one hook?
Absolutely.
Way more than
Yeah.
bass.
And that's the other problem is you're trolling a husky jerk. You got 2 or 3 trebles on there.
Right.
Where you got guys
a
flipping
safety
bass, he's
aspect.
got 1 4-aught single hook. So
Yep.
it's definitely less safe to grab a walleye. Not to mention
Well,
they've
they
got
got
teeth.
gills, rakers. And
So I don't know. We might just end up using nets all the time, and then I got to come up with something else. But not having that fish landing type violation
Yep.
penalty.
What
is,
are we gonna do? Yeah.
I don't know. That's where some of that drama came in from. Because if you remember watching Colin and these guys, they're like, oh damn it, give me the penalty. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like then they're sitting there freaking out for 2 minutes, the longest 2 minutes of their life, type of deal. So I don't think you want to lose that.
I keep rewatching the one from Colin Martin where he flips that bass in, and he's like, the line just keeps ripping through
He
his
wasn't
hands.
even pulling on it because his hands were wet or whatever.
My thought process is Colin, I saw was on here earlier. Colin, would that have happened if you weren't under the pressure of the head-to-head?
Oh, absolutely not.
Even though the fact is, let's say you're not going to let that fish hit the deck. Let's say that's there. In my mind, I don't know if I've ever done that, and I'm not damn near the quality of fisherman
What we're
going to
struggle with a little bit on head-to-head is people think it's a fishing tournament.
Right.
And it's a quasi-fishing tournament. What I mean by that is it's really not a true tournament. It's a show. It's really a TV show or a web show that allows you to beat somebody else and continue on and earn some money. It's really what it is. It's really not a fishing tournament, and that's why their games are 5 hours long, right? And we got these penalties, we got this whole different structure because I don't really want it to be a tournament. There's all sorts of great tournaments out there. If you want to fish a tournament, like a true tournament series, go fish Wisco.
Right.
Go fish that new MPFL. Go sign up for Costas or the FLW Tour, whatever it is nowadays. Go fish something else. If you want a real tournament, I'm trying to be different.
We're a show. And I like it that way.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
It's builds
and
drama.
and you want it to be a pressure cooker.
Right.
The whole point is to make it a pressure cooker.
Well, and according to that video, that's what all those guys thought.
Yeah, and we're working out, and Zach did a really good job putting together a video for us to get sponsored for head-to-head.
Yep.
And that'll be going live here shortly. We'll put that out on the head-to-head page. It's just an awesome, it's about 9 minutes long about what it is, where do we see it going, how, what fishing it was like for these first few guys. We had the first 2 winners in it. We had Colin Martin in it and Kyle Poela.
Yep.
I did a pretty good job.
Nailed it.
I got nervous there. I was going to go with Kyle and like, I'll send it.
Yeah, this fool said.
So anyway,
He appreciates
we
that.
got a lot cooking, right? I mean, that's 18 events. Hopefully some of those on the same weekend, so we can have our fun with our catch zone type deal, right?
What's that?
And then we got Wisco events going on next year. We got so much live
Wisco's
stream.
doing the kayak division.
We got a
everything.
kayak division now. We
man.
got they're actually coming in tonight to talk about 2020 and figure all it out. We got Dylan Dreifel, 2019 Angler of the Year. He decided he's going. I believe he's going big time.
He's
He's
going for
fishing
some
the fishing the FLW side of things next year. So hey, we got so much live stream stuff going.
Hell, next thing you know, we'll be a media company.
Holy shnikes. We're gonna put enough
Speaking of
money into
media,
it.
so now that we got this head-to-head Marlin Fishing Florida edition, yes, Scott, I'll be down there for that. Well, and as much as we this head-to-head, we've always naysayed the idea of turkey hunting head-to-head. There might be some turkey hunting stuff down the pipeline.
Here's what I will tell you.
It's not a challenge, but it's
there will be some live hunting land-related stuff in 2020.
Yep.
It may be even earlier than that, but probably not.
All right.
It won't be earlier than that because we're a month away. We're a month away from 2020,
God
right?
Damn.
So there won't be any live before 2020, but there will be a slew of brand new live, never before seen content in 2020.
In 2020.
A lot of it.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. So it's as promised. We're a couple minutes behind. We're going to do the Black Friday drawings here. We're doing the ice fishing package and the archery package.
Should we go live on my phone or something?
Yeah, let's
so
do that
people
too.
can see it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we'll
they
do
can't
that.
see us.
Let's take a break because we want to make this legit. We don't want anybody
All right,
having
think we're
issues.
cheating. I forgot that
So we're going to take a break
paused.
here real quick, and we're going to fix these cameras, and we will be right